Guys, you guessed it, we're talking about Gamezone. It's your boy RNG Crypto here with you today for another video. Gamezone is a launchpad for NFT or crypto-based games. It's going to be launching games on different blockchains, and we'll get into this. But before we do, I gotta hit you with the disclaimer, guys. I am not a financial advisor. Anything I say or do is not financial advice. Please make sure that you are always doing your own due diligence and doing that research before investing any money into any of these projects. Alright guys, before I got started, I wanted to get into what a launchpad really is. For that, I've come here to BlueZilla's website. BlueZilla is the marketing and branding genius behind all of these launchpads that you see here, including Gamezone, which is the one we're talking about. And these guys do a really good job at sort of giving us an idea of what the incubation support services are that they will provide the projects launching on their incubators and launchpads. So they will support them with marketing, right? Making sure that you're getting your name out there. You want to have a following, and a lot of times it's very difficult for projects to develop a following in a short amount of time. So this is sort of making this a lot quicker for these new projects in terms of gaining a following. They have an influencer network. They've got over 1,200 folks that are out there on YouTube, in the news, that are just helping sort of advertise and market the projects launching. The development, an in-house software team that's doing development. They're doing design and video. They've got folks working on smart contracts that are being developed in-house and also audited by partners. IDOs, guys, again, this is a launch pad, so after the project has been built and is fully ready to go live, they have an event where folks will literally wait in line to invest money into these companies, and that's really how you get hit the ground running, so to speak. They help with advice. They have lots of partnerships. Sorry about that. They have lots of partnerships with other blockchains. Sometimes you may need an API to tie in and stuff like that. So it's good to have partnerships in the ecosystem to assist you with your code and your interoperability, especially when we're talking cross-chain, multi-chain projects. They've got legal advice, and then tokenomics. That's a big one, especially for your investor-minded folks. If you don't have a use case or a true use of a token, then what's the token worth really? So they have an expert team that help with tokenomics, and you can see it in their own tokenomics of the project, that they are really very clever when it comes to developing these tokenomics strategies. So that's really it, guys. So basically, just to give you a quick rundown, I don't want to make things too long, but a project will apply to Gamezone. They have a really good idea. Gamezone loves it. They sell it, and BlueZilla approves it. So now this project is approved to be one of the projects that's going through the Gamezone incubation process. So here they're going to help them with development, with the smart contracts. They're going to advise them. They're going to make sure that everything's done from a legal perspective. The tokenomics are going to be helped with. They're going to start developing partnerships with other blockchains to really help with some of the integration and also maybe some of the interoperability, and then also the development, or sorry, not the development, the marketing and the influencer network. So that's really the biggest differentiator, because this is where BlueZilla is, again, a marketing genius. They are really good at creating hype around projects, at making or creating a community that follows these projects. A lot of these projects have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers before they even go live on IDO, and a lot of that is with the help of the BlueZilla team. So really props to them for being able to do that for these projects. That's really what gives these 100, 150, 200 X's an actual chance of happening. And so BlueZilla is very good at doing that. Props to them again. Okay, guys, now that we finally know what a launchpad is and how it benefits projects, let's talk about this one, Gamezone. Gamezone is the one that's coming out on the 30th of this month. There will be an IDO launched on all the other BlueZilla launchpads, so ETHPad, ADAPad, KCCPad, TronPad, VeloSpad. I don't think will yet because that one just came out, but those pads are going to be launching the IDO for Gamezone. That's your chance to get in really early at a very low price to try and maximize your profit, but also maximize your stake in this company if you're looking to take part in these gaming IDOs that are going to be launching on here, because you will need to stake Gamezone tokens in order to partake in the games that they're launching on those IDOs. So that is how this project's going to work. Okay, guys, and here they're talking about next gen support, essentially saying they are supporting the next generation of layer 1 blockchains. Ethereum obviously is the first generation after Bitcoin that actually supports dApps and smart contracts. Obviously, there's an array of layer 1s that are out now that are much faster, much lower cost, and GameZone is definitely taking advantage of those blockchains with and establishing partnerships. That close partnership with Velas and VelasPad that BlueZilla has started. GameZone's going to be able to reap the benefits of the games launching on that layer 1. Some other ones are Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Polygon, Avalanche, and of course Ethereum is in there as well. Would be silly to limit themselves or cut themselves out of that part of the cake. But here you can see again, this is going to be a launchpad that's multi-chain, looking to have as much exposure to as many layer ones as possible, and then that way also more exposure to great quality video games. Okay guys, next let's take a look at the actual tier system that GameZone's gonna be having. GameZone uses a tier-based system to assign allocations that ensures everybody has a chance to secure an early stake in some of these games that are gonna be coming out here. So there are 3 tiers: starter, veteran, god mode. Every tier comes with its own required tokens that need to be staked. So starter, obviously lower amount of tokens staked. God mode, the most amount of tokens staked. This is very similar to all the other BlueZilla launchpads. There's usually a good APY on staking those tokens as well, so you get a good amount or return on your investment, in my opinion, or good passive income in addition to your investment. So every tier here basically has a set amount of benefits, features that you unlock with it. I'm going to be going for the top tier. I'm not going to go through the actual details here. You can pause the video, read through these yourself. But basically, very similar to some of the other launchpads BlueZilla has done, and we've seen how well those have performed. And good performance does not come without a good deflationary tokenomics strategy, and GameZone or BlueZilla does a really good job at making sure their projects are always solid from a tokenomics perspective. GameZone having a deflationary tokenomics strategy focuses on 2 specific mechanisms. One is to have a token burn, the other one is a rewards mechanism. So GameZone addresses 2 challenges simultaneously by carefully balancing rewards with a long-term token burn strategy. This incentivizes holders while providing a sustainable model of growth for the GZone token. So people are incentivized for staking because they get staking rewards paid out that are provided to us through some of these burn mechanisms that are described here. So you can see there's a 7% fee on the GZone sell orders, meaning every time you sell your GameZone tokens, you're going to be deducted 7%. 2% of those are going to be burned forever, gone. That's what makes the token deflationary. 5% of that 7% is going to the staking reward. So those people staking, that has to be funded somehow, and that's where that is coming from. There's also an early on staking fee up to 25%. It would only be 25% if you literally staked and unstaked within a week. If you keep your token staked for 8 weeks, at least that's how it's been for other BlueZilla pads, you are not paying anything. So I'm assuming that same rule applies here, that as long as you stake for 8 weeks minimum, there will be no unstaking fee. If you've only staked, let's say, 4 of those 8 weeks, there may be like a 12.5% unstaking fee, something along those lines. The more time you have left in your 8-week term, if you want to call it that, the higher your unstaking fee will be. Then the rewards mechanism. So staking your GZone earns you perpetual income from 5% of the GZone sell fees. So we talked about that, how those rewards are going to be funded. And then receiving rewards from early unstaking. You also receive rewards whenever people unstake. You get the percentage of that, all the stakers do. So this is their tokenomics. It's worked on all the other projects. It's really good. And I'm confident that these guys will do another 50, 100 plus X on their IDO because of these tokenomics. They applied across all the BlueZilla launchpads pretty much. Some differences, minor differences, but all of them really focus on keeping the holders incentivized to keep their tokens staked and really disincentivized to actually sell. So this is definitely something that's been successful in the past. It's going to be successful with Gamezone. I'm looking forward to this launch. Let's talk a little bit about how we're going to get involved with this. All right, and for that, let's take a quick look at my portfolio. There are a couple of launchpads that you're going to be able to use to get into Gamezone, but you'll have to stake and purchase their tokens. So let's take a look at where they're at today with price to see which one makes the most sense and how we're going to get the most allocation. So we've got ADAPad, KCCPad, TronPad, and ETHPad, and BSCPad. All of those are going to be hosting Gamezone. VelasPad just came out. I don't think there's going to be an IDO opportunity there, but there might be a actual an airdrop of Gamezone tokens for stakers. But here, let's look at the market caps. That's how I like to judge of how much I'm going to need to dish out here. So 88 million, 21 million, TronPad 47 million, KCC 25 million, 42. So it looks like 21 million is going to be ETHPad here. ETHPad has been it performs the least, I think, just simply because of the fees. But if you want an allocation in one of these projects, you know, that's what you're going to be trying to do here. I'm not going to tell you which one you should go for, but this is what I like to do. I like to look at the market cap, and then I also like to go and look at, for example, the actual amount of stakers that are there today. So right now on ETHPad, you can see there are 2,357 stakers. APY has gone way down. This used to be 100%. Yeah, so go from one pad to another, look at the number of stakers, compare how much you're going to have to invest in order to get an allocation, right? Because you'll need to go and look on their main site here and see, hey, if I want to have a lottery tier of ETHPad up to 25K staked, if I want to have a guaranteed allocation of ETHPad, I need 120,000 staked or 200,000 staked. I have the top tier on all of these except BSCPad and ADAPad right now, so I'm looking forward to this Gamezone drop. That's been my game so far, looking at launchpads, getting top tier allocations, and going in early on several IDOs, sometimes multiple a week, and making ridiculous gains. Just to kind of give you an idea of what I've been doing here, let me look at my IDO portfolio, and you guys should actually not be seeing my numbers, but you can see here I have looked at ADAPad, for example, 100 or 15,272% return on investment. That's 152x, 9,000, right? 95x, 69x, 53x, you know, almost a 1x. So there are definitely gains to be made, and it's a little red in the market now, but look, you can see everything I've invested in from an IDO standpoint is actually in the plus, some of it thousands of percents in the plus. So there is definitely money that can be made. My overall portfolio doing IDOs, and this is just the IDOs again, not my entire portfolio. But yeah, that's what is giving me incentive to go hard for Gamezone. I don't want to tell you what to do. Please, again, this is not investment advice. Make sure that you do your own due diligence, you do your own research, and you're always looking to make a decision that you are comfortable with. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Get yourself a God Mode tier on Gamezone. If you like the content, if you like what I'm doing, let me know in the comments, like the video, and give me a subscribe. I will see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy. I am out.